Yo, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Another week, another CDL matchup. Let's get into the predictions. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's get right into it. Starting off with them boys, LAT versus Carolina. Who's going to win? I think after the showing that we just saw from the boys at LAT, I think the confidence is going to be high. I think they're going to be hungry. I think they want it to come for that championship. I think they take this one. We're going to give this a... You know what? I'm going to give this a 3-1. I'm going to give this a 3-1. That's not a very nice little one. Let's do that. 3-1. Then we go over to Boston versus Vegas. I apologize, Boston, in advance, but I think this is going to be an absolute sweep. I just think it's one of those where Vegas, again, they have another roster change. They have another roster change, and I think in the roster, they're going to take their footing. You know, it's a new season, hopefully playing with some confidence. I think it's going to be a rough one. I really do. I think Boston have a lot to prove as well. Had a little bit of an underwhelming major considering how well they played online, but then they're going to bounce back here, and I think they're going to win 3-0 or 3-1. I don't want to, but I think I'm gonna write 3-0. I think I'm gonna write 3-0. I'm sorry. I hope Vegas can win a series this event, this major. I really do. I think it'll be nice for them and overall, but I think Boston are gonna win. Atlanta Faze versus Vancouver. Again, 3 written all over this one. It could be a 3-0. If I was a betting man, I would probably put 3-0, 3-1. I just think I'm gonna put 3-0 because we have a lot of confidence from the boys at Atlanta, and Vancouver now have Neptune. Not that it makes them worse. I think they make them better. Maybe a little honeymoon phase, but I think it's going to be an adjustment period. And I just think they're going to struggle at the start because their first game back, you know, after scrimming for what, less than a week or whatever it is against Faze. I think it's going to be a tough one. Then we go over to Mr. LAG versus Boston. How are we going to do this? Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to do this. So I said 3-1, 3-0, 3-0. Let's do this. Let's do this. 3-1, 3-0. 3-0. Let's do it like that. It'll be a bit easier. Don't, please leave my handwriting alone. Do not laugh at me because this is not good, bro. This is not good. I'm stressing myself out for no reason. All right, there you go. 3-1, 3-1, 3-0. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next area here. LAG versus Boston. I think this is going to be a scrappy 2-3. I think Boston are going to win this one 3-2. So I'm going to do like that. 2-3. There you go. Then we go to match number 2. What do we have from Ashley? Bro, what am I doing? Let me just do this. I'm being stupid. Let me do this. I'm going to say 2. It's so hard to type with this mouse. It's crazy. I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say 3. I just feel like Boston are going to kind of go on a little run. I think they're going to beat Vegas and then they're going to go through. And LAG, for me, they're just one of those teams that they keep taking the series to the distance. I think it's going to be a good, scrappy series, but I just don't think they're going to win it. And I think that I think those boys are going to take care of it over on the Boston side. Let me quickly mute that. I think it's got some Marvel Rivals in the background. Anyways, I'm sorry. It's very unprofessional. Anyways, look, you guys just play a bit of Marvel Rivals in the background. But anyways, let me go through back to the prediction. So then the next one, Miami versus Minnesota. Again, I think Miami did a really good series. Really good event. I think they might take that confidence with them. I think they're going to win this one. Again, I think this one could be an absolute gruel. I think it's going to be 3-2 again. This one's going to be very mixy, very close. I think it's going to be 3-2 to Miami, but I can see this one being either way. I think this will be a coin flip. Again, if I was a betting man, I probably wouldn't bet on this one because I think it's going to be very close. So I'm not really too sure. That one's a kind of a hard prediction for me. Atlanta Faze versus Texas. My honest opinion is Atlanta Faze 3, Texas 1. But I'm an Optic fan. I'm going to back the boys. Okay, if I wasn't an Optic fan, I would go for 3-1 as a neutral. Because I'm an Optic fan, I'm going to say 3-2. Pred comes back with a bang and they take care of Faze, make a statement for the Optic major coming up. Then we got New York versus Toronto. But before we get into that, let's give actual real analysis about this Atlanta Faze Optic match because I think it's going to be a good one. I think for me, I think it's like we're obviously going up against a red hot Faze who just won the major, right? Confidence can be an all-time high. But I think the honeymoon effect could work in the favor of Optic. Like a fresh start. Now, I know I spoke about Vancouver. I think it's a little bit different because they're obviously not the same caliber as an Optic Texas, who are a top 2, top 3 team regardless. So I just think it's one of those where the vibes are back. They got their championship squad back. They know they've handled Faze in the past. They've lost a Faze in the past, but they have a bit more flair now. They got Pred back. They got a week of practice. I don't know, man. I feel like it could be good, but while I'm saying this, it's on the 13th right now, Feb. They said in 2 days, and Pred, I believe, just started coming back and scrimming like yesterday or 2 days ago. I just think they're going to be a little bit behind the curve. So I do think that Faze will win this 3-2, but I'm always going to bet for my boys Optic. So again, if I was neutral, I'd probably say 3-1 Faze, something like that. Because I'm not neutral, I'm biased to my boys Optic. I'm going 3-2 for the boys over on Texas. Then we have New York versus Toronto. I think this one is going to be another bounce back for Toronto. And I think New York are going to struggle slightly here. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1 there. Could be a 3-0. think this could be a sweep. I really do. I think New York they're not playing great Call of Duty, in my opinion. So it's always weird with the first weekend, to be honest, because we don't really know what's going on since the major. Things could be completely different. This is obviously a prediction. Once we see the first week, we can kind of go from there. But for now, I'm going to go with that. Then we go over to our Sunday. We got some exciting matches. Let's see who we're going with. Obviously, the match of the weekend is going to be Atlanta Faze v Texas. Everyone's going to have their eyes towards that one. But let's go over to LAT versus Vegas. What we're thinking? What we're thinking is LAT 3, Vegas 0. I don't think we have to go over that one. I think same thing. I think Vegas is going to struggle against our red hot LA Thieves. I think it's going to be one of those. They're coming for blood. Then they win the series. Bro, I made the 0 smaller and it literally went the same size. I am tweaking. There you go. Toronto versus Carolina. I still back the boys over Toronto. And I think it's going to be a bit of a scrappy one. I think it's going to be 3-2. I just trust Toronto's ice. However, this one, I'm going to put a little arrow. The reason why, I think this is going to be a coin flip. I think this could be 3-2 either side, but I do see it going the distance. I think this is just one of those where it's like, you know, who's going to take over? Is Gwyn going to take over? Is Kleenex going to take over? Like, someone's going to have a takeover series and kind of guide their team through. But I think it'll be a close, scrappy series. It'll be like a 3-1 or a 3-2, just a close series. I think the maps will be close, though. I'm looking forward to that one. Then we have Vancouver versus New York. It's a weird one because of the servers as well. I know Vancouver online do struggle, which is why, again, I put them as 3-0. I think it's going to be difficult for them online. I think Neptune's going to help them. I don't know. This is a really tough one for me because I don't know what New York we're seeing, man. I want to see Sib fry. I want to see a good New York. Will Neptune be enough? Will they go 0-2? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be tough, man. I think both teams will be 0-1 at this point, and it's going to be a scrappy fight. I think, who am I going to go with? In my head, I just never want to bet against Sib because I know he's such a good player, but this team just not been playing too well, man. It's online, though. I'm going to give 3-1. I'm going to give 3-1 to New York. Let's go 3-1 New York. Again, mixy series. I just think, I don't really know who's going to edge it, but I'm just going to give it to New York anyways. Then we got Minnesota versus Optic. Put 3 straight away. Those are my boys. Those are the GOATs, Optic, Texas. And I think that it will be a 3-0. I'll be honest. I think it'll be a 3-0 or a 3-1. But I'm going to go with a 3-0. I think it's going to be one of those where whether they win or lose against Faze, I think it'll be a big learning curve that they're going to go through. They're going to learn a lot regardless, and they're going to come back with a statement, take care of Minnesota. I think it's going to be an absolute skill difference, a team difference. I think they're going to take them out. And those are my predictions, just to kind of go through, just again, to kind of summarize the predictions. Let me know what you guys think down below. We got LA Thieves taking over Carolina 3-1. Boston 3-0 over Vegas. Atlanta Faze 3-0 sweep. I believe this is going to be a very quick Friday. I believe so. Then we have, I think it's, Valentine's Day. These guys, they're going to in and out, bro. Valentine's Day is going to be done in 3 hours, bro. These guys are going to be absolutely frying the other team. I do think the left side is going to absolutely clear the right side. Then we go through Saturday. It's going to be a bit more of a blender. To be honest, I think it's going to be a very long day of Call of Duty. I would like to see some of the games maybe mixed up a little bit because I think these ones are going to be a bit more of a blenders, like in my opinion. You can see from my predictions, I think they're all going to go down to the distance. I've got a 3-2 Boston, 3-2 Miami, 3-2 Faze, and then 3-1 Toronto. I think it's going to be a very long Saturday. Then we go to Sunday, and again, bit of a sweep to start it off. We've got LA Thieves with a 3-0 against Vegas. Toronto beating Carolina 3-2. Again, could go either way, a bit of a coin flip. Then we have New York taking over Vancouver 3-1. And to finish off the weekend, Optic, Texas closing it out with a bang, absolutely taking out Rocker, taking out Minnesota to make it 3-0. YouTube, you guys know the drill. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We have another video for you tomorrow. Peace.